Dangote Refinery IPO. Nigerians may soon own Africa's $20 billion energy giant. For decades, Nigeria exported crude oil, then bought back refined petrol at a higher price. A country rich in petroleum was paradoxically dependent on foreign refineries. The Dangote Refinery was built to stop that cycle. Nigeria once spent over 15.4 trillion naira yearly importing fuel. But in 2024, that began to change. Today, the refinery is already reshaping Nigeria's energy market. Fuel scarcity and endless queue are now a thing of the past. Even now, something historic is about to happen. Nigerians may soon own a piece of the $20 billion Dangote Refinery. And this development could change Nigeria's financial markets as well. Dangote has confirmed that shares of the refinery may soon be available to Nigerians. Within the next couple of months, the public could have the opportunity to invest in one of Africa's largest industrial projects.
Nigerians too will have an opportunity in the next, I don't know, but I think in the next maybe maximum 4 or 5 months, there will actually be option to buy their shares. And like what I promised before, people will have a choice either to get their dividend in naira or to get their dividends in dollars, because we earn dollars.
The vision behind the refinery. The Dangote Refinery was first conceived around 2013 with one clear objective: end Nigeria's dependence on imported refined fuel. But this is not just a refinery. It is something far bigger. The complex included a deep-sea port, petrochemical plants, massive crude storage tanks, dedicated power infrastructure. At full capacity, the refinery will process 650,000 barrels of crude every day. That makes it the largest single-train refinery on Earth. Its output includes petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, polypropylene for plastics manufacturing. In simple terms, this refinery is designed to supply Nigeria and export to the rest of Africa. The market impact already happening. The refinery isn't just a future promise anymore. It is already influencing Nigeria's fuel market. Recent reports show the facility has been supplying tens of millions of liters of petrol daily, dramatically increasing domestic refining capacity. At one point, production reached about 23.5 million liters of petrol per day, according to regulators. As domestic supply increases, Nigeria is gradually reducing its reliance on imported fuel, something economists have been advocating for decades. The implications are enormous. Less fuel imports means lower pressure on foreign exchange, reduced subsidy burdens, more value retained within the economy, and a stable economy. For a country that has historically exported crude and imported fuel, this represents a complete structural shift. So, the Dangote Refinery is more than a refinery. It is infrastructure. It is capital markets evolution. It is industrial policy in motion. And most importantly, it represents Nigeria's possibility. The investment story, Dangote Refinery IPO. But the biggest surprise may not be the refinery itself. It may be what happens next. Plans are in top gear to list a refinery on the Nigerian exchange, meaning Nigerians could soon buy shares in Africa's largest refinery. Initial reports suggest that around 10% of the company may be offered to the public. And for the first time, ordinary Nigerians may be able to buy shares in the refinery. This could happen within the next few months, according to the president, Aliko Dangote himself. And there's an even bigger twist. Investors may have the option to receive dividends in U.S. dollars. This is because the refinery earns significant foreign currency from exports. In a country where most stocks pay in naira, that would be historic. When this IPO happens, it could become one of the most important investments in Nigerian history. Existing ownership. The refinery already has strategic investors. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited currently holds 7.25% equity in the refinery on behalf of Nigerians. A public listing would broaden ownership even further. It would also introduce greater transparency, regulatory oversight, and market participation. Why investors are paying attention. This IPO could become one of the most significant listings in Nigerian history. Investors will be buying into energy infrastructure, Nigeria's domestic fuel market, petrochemical exports, Industrial growth in Africa's largest economy. Projected export earnings from petrochemicals alone could reach about $6.4 billion annually, providing strong foreign currency inflows. That export revenue is part of what could support the proposed dollar-denominated dividends. The bigger economic shift. The Dangote Refinery represents something bigger than one company. It reflects a transformation in Nigeria's economic structure. For decades, the country followed a familiar pattern: export crude oil, import refined fuel. Now the model is shifting from crude exporter to refined product exporter, from import dependency to domestic value creation, and now, potentially, from private infrastructure to public investment. If the IPO goes ahead as planned, the Dangote Refinery could become one of the largest listings in African history, a flagship stock on the Nigerian exchange, a symbol of private sector industrialization. The question is no longer whether the refinery will change Nigeria. The question is, who will own a piece of it? So, when the shares become available, will you be watching or will you be investing?